Today we're going to be talking about an anime film which was released in 2012. How about that? To those few people who haven't seen an anime film yet, first thing that you should know is that anime films can usually have incredibly bizarre stories behind them. But they can get away with it, so it's okay. And way up in the bizarre scale is Wolf Children, directed by the oh-so-genius Mamoru Hosoda, who is basically like the new Hayao Miyazaki. I'm sorry if I don't say these names quite right, but I'm pretty sure that you'll know what I mean. Miyazaki, he's retired, but it's okay because we've got this new guy. Based on the fact that I loved, no, seriously, loved The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars, I suspected early on that this was going to be a pretty good film. However, due to the fact that when I read the summary I thought to myself, what the fuck? I didn't really expect it to be this good. You'll understand why. Okay, so here's how it goes. Wolf Children is the sequel to Beauty and the Beast. Kidding? Makes sense though. Okay, so it's the basic story of girl meets boy, and in doing so they have sexy time, which leads to two little bundles of joy. It also happens that this guy is half werewolf type thing, which means that his kids also end up being half wolf. Now you would expect that this small little detail might lead to some issues later on in their lives. And to make things worse, the werewolf guy dies, leaving Hana, the girl, to basically bring up these half wolf things on her own. See what I mean? It's kind of a different plot, don't you think? Now first let's get one thing straight. This film was originally intended to be in Japanese, which means that all of the film had to be dubbed over in English. You would think that this would make the lip syncing kind of out of sync, but it really isn't. The new English voices fit in really well, and if there is like a slight little bit which is out of sync, then it's not noticeable at all. Didn't bother me at all. The English voices all fit the characters perfectly, and the fact that it was supposed to be in Japanese didn't distract me from the narrative at all. Even though both studios are anime and both directors make movies quite alike, I can tell the difference between the Studio Ghibli Miyazaki films and the manga Hosoda films. Hosoda films tend to be a lot more, shall we say, light in the colour sense. The backgrounds kind of tend to be lighter as well as the skin of the people. I also feel like Hosoda's films feel a lot more personal and realistic in a way. He's very good at portraying the different kind of teenagers that you get. It's a tough thing to describe, but that is how I would put it. In any case, I'm actually becoming more fond of his films. The Girl Who Leapt Through Time is actually my favourite anime film, and that's saying something seeing as I've seen all of the Studio Ghibli films and a huge variety of manga films as well. And from that, you know that the anime is going to look spectacular. If you have seen any of his other films, then you know that the anime is going to be good. These films are hardly ever released, but when they are so worth the wait because the attention to detail in this film is simply outstanding. And this is why I love anime films. It's like they take the most impossible things and make it come to life in the most realistic way. There's one scene in particular where the two wolf children are playing in the snow for the first times ever in their lives, and in just such happiness they turn into wolves and they're chasing each other through like the trees and the forest, and it's all covered in snow. The camera then gives us a point of view from their perspective where we are running through the snow and we're jumping over the logs and into the pits and across rivers and all of those kind of things, and that to go with the music is just a magical scene. Without a doubt, that is my favourite part of the film. Can you tell? And then in all of that glory there are a couple of very unusual scenes which kind of make you go, for example, when the girl and the guy realise that they're in love and they decide to have sexy time, and we sort of get a glimpse of the guy going down on her without the courtesy of changing back into a human before they start making out. Okay, now what should have been a romantic scene kind of turned towards the ew, no side. Just imagine Beauty and the Beast, but the Beast doesn't change back. Yeah, that. And then there's another scene where the guy goes out to do his wolf duties and he hasn't come back, so Hana has to go and find her, but she has to take the two kids with her, so she has the two kids strapped to her front and her back, and she goes out and finds him, and she finds him as a wolf, dead, floating in a river. Which is kind of brutal, but to make things worse, they get the bin men to go and get the wolf, put him in a plastic bag, drag him all the way up onto the shore, and then put them into the back of the lorry where you see the lorry going, yeah, come on. And then she is literally kneeling on the floor in hysterics with like a child on her back and a child in her front in the frickin' middle of a storm. So you can imagine at this point I was kind of, as I rocked back and forth in the corner of my room with a pillow. So apart from those two very odd yet powerful in various ways scenes, Wolf Children is one of the few DVDs which I have added to my collection of brilliant films. I would definitely recommend watching this film if you haven't already seen it, and it's a pretty damn good starting film if you haven't seen anime before as well, so watch that. The lighting has changed. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Most of it. I might even go and watch it right now, to be honest. So, have you seen the film? If you have, then let me know your thoughts of it, comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, cool, bye.